All right, so I just finished another video where I showed how easy it is to make a basic dough recipe, and I thought I would do a bonus clip where I'm going to show you what I'm doing today with the dough that I just made. So this is something new that I'm trying. I have no earthly idea whether or not it's going to turn out, but we're going to try it anyway. All right, so what I'm going to do is roll this out. I'm hoping for a rectangular shape. I'm hoping if I go straight up and down, I can get a nice flat rectangular shape. Look at that. I never would have thought I'd be able to make dough like this years ago, honestly. And this doesn't even have any yeast in it, guys. You really don't need it. Don't need it. So I'm just going as thin as possible because I'm going to create roll-ups. Now it's turning more square. So I'm going to go this way. Try to get my rectangle back. All right, by the way, I'm rolling this on a silpat or a pastry mat. Actually, I think it's called a pastry mat. Sorry, not silpat. And I highly recommend that you get one of these because then you don't dirty up your counter. You can use a sterilized counter, but this mat is so much easier and it cleans up very nicely. All right, I'm gonna go as thin as I possibly can because I'll be rolling it up. So it will have layers and it'll get thicker. Okay, and if you don't have a rolling pin, move that out of the way. You can always use a glass, which I actually did when we were living in overseas in Medellin, Colombia. When you're staying in various Airbnbs, you just don't know what you're gonna get, right? So I had to learn how to make adjustments so I could still have my homemade dough. The main reason why I make this myself is because I stick to the spelt grain, which is so much better for you than traditional wheat. I can't even express it. So many people that have an intolerance to regular wheat tolerate the spelt grain very well, and that's because it is a ancient grain that is easier on the gut. Modern wheat has been hybridized, surprise, surprise, like most of our food. Okay, so my pizza cutter to the side, some of my veg got on here. Very simply, I have a sauce here that's left over. If you do a lot of stuff homemade, you'll end up with things like this too. This is actually a cashew sauce that I made when I was on a cleanse. So it has lime juice, sun-dried tomatoes in it. There's probably a bit of nutritional yeast in there too. I'm gonna use that as my spread. Now, if you wanted to do a pizza roll, this is where you would just put pizza sauce on here, okay? But I thought of this as a great way for me to use up my spread. We make these things, y'all, and then we just never use them. So I wanted to make sure that this didn't go to waste because let me tell you, I've had plenty of batch die in my refrigerator. I could also, though, thin this out with more water and make a salad dressing out of it, okay? It's a very versatile sauce, and I enjoyed it in the raw form, but I thought this would be really cool to do today too. And when all your individual components are tasty, why wouldn't they taste good put together? All right, so I'm just spreading that out like so. Again, I'm experimenting here, so I don't know if this is gonna turn out perfectly. And then what I thought about was, what veggies do I have in the refrigerator that need to be used up? And that's what I want you to be thinking. Not that you need to create a recipe from scratch, but what can I, use up that I already have? And this is red onions, some sun-dried tomatoes, purple onion rather, sun-dried tomatoes, kale, and mushrooms. Might be a little hot, but I'm gonna drop it on here. Let me get a fork. How about that? How about I not burn myself here? See, it's still steaming. I just sauteed this, okay? I like to cook my mushrooms well done. So I cooked my mushrooms and onions first, and then I added the kale in at the very end. I'm telling you what though, it smells good. I'll tell you that. I put a little coconut aminos in there, my homemade seasoning blend. I've got another video on that. And then a little bit of salt. And that's it. Doesn't this look tasty, you guys? This would be great for, a party. You're entertaining or something. And a lot of these ingredients, once you start eating healthier, you have these things already. All right? You already have these ingredients in your refrigerator most of the time, or something similar that you could substitute. Okay, but this right here, these are the things that keep me from eating out, which is hard, not just on your waistline, but your pocket too. We're supposed to be good stewards of everything. Our bodies, our finances, all belongs to Him. You are bought with a price. I'm going into my sermon there for a second. All right, so I'm debating whether I'm going to take this all the way to the edge. I'm going to get close because I think you're supposed to leave some room, but it's been a while since I made one of these. Don't tell me that doesn't look good though. Yum, yum. All right. I could almost use all of this up, but I'm not going to because I don't know how it will roll up. But guess what? I can just eat that. I really can. Okay, so I'm just spreading this out a little bit. And then we are going to, wait, let me get a little bit more down here. We're going to do our roll. Okay, all right, you ready? You ready? I'm going to use this pizza cutter here to kick me off a little bit. I've never been the best at this, but I have made pizza rolls before, so let's see how this goes. All right. Okay. Not bad. You want to make sure that your dough is not super sticky because if it was, I'd be having more of a challenge here. All right. Now, I'm going to come down to this end of the counter and this may work even better. Okay. All right. Ideally, you want it to tighten, to be tighter. I'm not rolling mine super tight. Making a little bit of a mess right there. That's totally okay because I'm going to bake it all anyway. Okay. All right, so any excess I have here, see I went too far to the edge over here, so that's a lesson learned for next time. And now I have extra veg kind of coming out there. I don't mind showing you the imperfections though, because then you'll try things and wonder why didn't it work out. So I'm going to leave that just like that because what I'm going to do next is slice it up and put it in here. And I'm using a pizza cutter. You could also use a dough cutter. See that? Doesn't that look cheesy? All right, and I'm just going to drop it down on there. Have to be vigorous though because it wants to come undone completely. And I'm just not having it today. Okay, I'm gonna face this one up. Just gonna do some different things here and see what turns out the best. But it looks like it wants to lay flat. All right, not perfect, but better than takeout. So I did put too much filling in there. Next time we'd want to go a little thinner. But guess what? If it's tasty, they're gonna eat it anyway. All right, with my cinnamon rolls, when I'm cutting a long roll like this, what I usually do is one cut in the middle and then keep going in halves like that. Makes it easier to get equal sizes. But I might change the name of this dish just based on how it's turning out here. All right. And then this last one, I'm just going to leave in one big piece like that. Oh, it was messy. It was messy, but we made it. Okay, so now what you could do is spray a little bit of cooking oil on top of that if you desire, and then transfer to a 425-degree oven and let it bake for about 10 to 15 minutes. See if it's browned like you like it, and then dig in and enjoy. I hope you enjoy. If yours doesn't turn out perfectly, don't blame Coach K. Just make your adjustments, guys. All right, thank you. See you next time. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.